Breaking news now.
Over the past few hours, we have gotten several videos of a suspected tornado in St. Bernard Parish. This happened just before 6 o'clock this evening. St. Bernard Parish tells us about a dozen homes were damaged. Thanks for joining us, everyone. I'm Sharice Gibson. So this latest batch of severe weather comes just days after post-tropical storm Arthur led to at least 3 confirmed tornadoes in the metro. Now Arabi, which is a town with an extensive history of deadly storms, it is just picking up the pieces of their homes. Walker Lawson joining us now live from Arabi to give us an idea of how it's looking out there just a day after we've already experienced 3 separate tornadoes.
Yeah, that's right. Again, no confirmation yet on this official tornado, but what we do want to show you is some of the damage that's left over. So this tree has been snapped and it has had branches fall on the ground, but what you can really see in this neighborhood specifically is their fencing has been completely pushed out. And I will say this damage somewhat is similar to Homo, where we were yesterday, where we saw some similar damage where it was very spotty throughout the neighborhood. You have certain areas that have had extensive damage to their property and then other homes that are perfectly fine in the neighborhood. Again, it doesn't look as if it was that strong of a tornado, but still nonetheless a tornado that caused some damage for people here in this community. We've spoken today to some public officials and as well to some residents here in this community, and this is what they had to say.
And all of a sudden, we just started storming and came this little growl. And we've had a couple tornadoes here the last couple of years. So they were joking, like, "Oh, is this a tornado?" I was like, "Well," I looked outside. I was like, "Well, there's actually Cammy." And the debris started flying around. And that's when we just closed all the windows real quick and the doors, and we ran to the center of the house. And that was it, actually. It was already down the street. It happened super quick.
Well, I'm going to tell you, a couple of years ago, we had one come through, and then exactly a year later, another one came through, pretty much the same area. But both of those came from the river heading north. This one here came from the north side heading south.
In the time it took him to put his Crocs on and open the balcony door, it had grown and hit the ground, and he turned and was screaming down the stairs, "Get in the bathroom, grab the cat and get in the bathroom." And I immediately was like sweating and anxious, and like I was shaking because this is the 3rd tornado and the second one did hit my house.
Again, people are pretty confident here that it was a tornado. Of course, the National Weather Service will come out and survey the damage to identify the tornado and this magnitude and strength of how it was when it touched down here in this community. Now, what I will also say is, of course, that a lot of people are going to be watching out for the possibility of some showers and storms, of course, going into the weekend, which they fear could hinder some of these cleanup and recovery efforts as they're going to be picking up some of the pieces here in this community. Reporting in Arabi, I'm Walker Lawson, WWL, Louisiana.
All right, Walker, thank you so much. Entergy now working to get the power back on along to that area where the possible tornado was seen. According to the website, they plan to have the power back by midnight tonight.